What's going on, guys? Alec here from Fury Gaming. I'm here to talk today about the Aegis Retalliator, what it's about, how it handles, and how it stacks up against other ships similar to itself. So for the ship comparison, I'm going to use everyone's favourite RSI Constellation Andromeda, because these ships sort of are very similar. Both size 4, both similar length, both designed for medium crews, and both have modularity. Besides the modularity, the Retalliator wins in HP pool, from what I can tell from the Renegade Squadron stats page for 2.6.3, which I will have a link in the description for. It points out that, as a whole, the Retalliator has a higher health pool, and being a sleeker hull shape, I'd say it'd be more stealth-like. The engines are more useful too, as they actually sit vertically for takeoff and will move horizontally for flying, so I'd imagine to be better thrusting. That's a bit weird. But moving on from there, let's talk about firepower. The Retalliator is 5 turrets with 2 by size 2 guns. Comes standard with CF-117 Badger repeaters. Whilst the Andromeda comes with 2 turrets, which are 2 by size 2s, being Badger repeaters again, but has those size 4 guns. Now, if you get the bomber variant instead of the base, you do pick up these size 9 missiles, which are technically torpedoes to an extent. But like I said, modular-wise, these bays can actually be dropped out for unladen space, storage space for cargo, living quarters, or for the front, for example, you can have a drop pod space. So looking here again at the turrets, there's one on the front, one up on top, like sort of opposite to where the bottom turret is, as we can see him up there. And then there's 3 on the rear, 1 on the bottom and 2 on sort of each side of the ship, sort of on the wings. Now, where I feel the Retalliator sits is more of a personnel carrier than an actual, just a versatile ship. The reason why I say that is, first of all, 2 elevators, so easy troop movement. Second of all the modules are basically based around, except for the torpedo bay, people moving. As the Andromeda, for example, has an exploration module or a large cargo hauling module. So this is A deck, by the way, with our torpedoes. So there's 4 of them there. Try not to get caught in the wall. And we'll go through the left-hand alleyway or walkway because the right-hand side's actually blocked off. And up at the top there is quarters for sleeping. I'll look at that in a minute. But what I mean by that is I think this is to be a med bay of some sorts. On the other side of this wall, which we'll take a look at, is actually toilets and facilities. Here we have the turret and the cockpit, which we'll come back to. And as we head up the ladder here, we'll see that we have the other turrets accessible just above our head here. And then we have sleeping quarters through into the next section. And in between, we have actual storage for guns. So I feel like that this ship, like I said again, is very much based around crew's quarters. As we head back down the hallway to the center of the ship, we'll actually take a look at the other side where, like I said, we have these facilities. So we have storage, we have a toilet, we have a wash area, and we have a shower. So I feel like it's not a true military-based ship. Like it's designed for more of a civilian use ship that is able to be tough and resilient and quite useful. Here we have the engineering station, which is accessible from both sides of the ship. And here's our B deck where I imagine you enter through this space here to get to the next set of quarters. Being the torpedo bay though, they've locked that off to us. As we enter down the back, we have the other side where the turret sits, and more storage space for personnel. Again, more storage, and then we have the turret which sits on the bottom, and then the doorway for more storage space, and the other turret on the top on the right-hand wing. So we'll head back up into the cockpit area, but as you can see, I'm going to iterate this again, very much a personnel ship. Plenty of storage for people, plenty of walkway space, although it is a bit awkward to actually move down those walkways because they're quite narrow. Now I've jumped into space, guys, because it wasn't letting me sit in the pilot seat for some reason. So I thought I'll take this opportunity to show you what the size 9 torpedoes can do. Now we'll take off here, as I think it's quite a really nice animation is for takeoff and going from landing to flight for this Retalliator. But I want to point out too that the Retalliator doesn't have any guns for the pilot to use, unlike the Andromeda. The Andromeda has those 4 size 4 guns which can be mounted to either a ballistic cannon or those rivet Gatling guns or whatever, but it doesn't have a huge aiming arc either. Now, as we enter into this next piece here, where we're on the probe mission to go find out what's going on with this distress beacon, we actually get jumped by a 350R and 2 cutlasses. So note here, the size 9 torpedoes take a while to get going, and this is where it's completely chalk and cheese with the Andromeda. The Andromeda has size 2 and size 1 missiles and absolute boatloads of them, so you can just be throwing those missiles out all the time. So that's where I think the major difference is. The Andromeda is designed for, you can run with a real skeleton crew of like 4 people, or you can have up to 8. As where you get the Retalliator, you really need to have at least 3 of the turrets manned. All 5 would be better, and that will really allow you to get some decent firepower out. And like I said too, I feel like this ship's a lot more nimble with the larger variety of engines. You've got the main thrusters at the rear with those extra thrusters that go vertical and horizontal. And also too, I do prefer the layout for the Retalliator. I feel like you can see more with the actual radar and the ship's hull and integrity in your target, but you don't have as good viewing angles as you do in the Constellation. Now, I haven't seen what the price is for a Retalliator yet. I haven't actually got around to buying one. I've simply got this because of the good old-fashioned Eclipse. So with that being said, guys, I hope it was enough to get you to understand what it's about. And I hope to catch you guys around in the verse. Toodaloo.